Hi everyone, this is Space Toad and welcome to this new BuildCraft video. In this video I am going to preview the forthcoming 3.1 release of BuildCraft. By the way, this is still going to be alpha release, which means that multiplayer is going to wait a little bit more, and the reason for that is that there is a lot of work to be done to implement SMP. But anyway, let's see what's going to be released in a few weeks along with this thing. 3.1 is actually quite an important milestone for BuildCraft. If you remember, the BuildCraft project started something like 8 months ago, and I'm very pleased to say that now, with this release, we are finally reaching the kind of gameplay and features that were envisioned at the very beginning of the project. So without further ado, let's have a look. First of all, you might remember these guys over there, which are called landmark, which should really be called area mark. The way they work is that they help you, allow you to define an area on the ground. Now, I am introducing these new path marks, which are going to be able to define a path in the world. Let's have a look. I'm just placing one of these guys on the ground like that, and then another one a little bit further away here, and then when I right click, this one is going to get connected to the one that is the closest to, and I just drew a line here. I can now place another mark further away, and I've created a 3 marks path. And I can do this on and on to create a path as long as I need. Now let's create this last one. So now the question that you might ask is, what is there to do with this path? Well, the answer is these paths are going to be used to drive construction, and you're going to be able to create things, to construct things around them. In this very case, what I'm going to demonstrate is how to create a road using these path marks. So the path that I defined here is the future road that I want to build. So to start building, I need a builder, and placing a builder next to the first marker makes the builder take all of the path that has been defined. And now I need to provide some kind of a pattern to the builder so that it knows what to build and how to build the road that is going to be ahead of it. So for that, I'm just going to use the usual template that was introduced a few releases ago. I'm opening this interface here, and as you can see, it's pretty similar to what you already know, except for that area over here, which is going to allow me to write the name of the template. I'm going to say this is a road section, and I'm getting one of these template items, placing them in the left hand side, and as before, this is going to write a template, and as you can see now, I've got this nice written template which is called after the name that I gave. So now it's very easy to keep track of things and see what things are, as opposed to just having numbers as it was before. So now, as you can see, what I set up initially is a road section to be these 5 blocks, one next to the other, with these 2 little blocks on the top. And because that's a template, I can replace this thing with pretty much anything. So in the builder, I'm going to place the road section here, and as you may expect, I've got the area highlighted, and I'm going to provide it with some building material. Don't have any right now. Let's get some bricks from my magic chest. There we go. Placing some bricks there, and I'm now going to power it as usual, using stone engines here. Some coal. And let's start building the road. Here we go. So the other new thing that you might notice here, well, it's pretty obvious actually, is this little robot flying around. That's another one of these new features of BuildCraft 3.10. All the building devices are now using this little guy over there to perform the building, and you can see that there is a laser laying down blocks one after the other. And it's going, and the builder is repeating the pattern following the line that I defined from the path. I'm going to let this thing go for a little while and see what's next. So this was templates, and templates are nice because they allow to use pretty much any kind of block to define an area. Now, what if I want to have some specific block used for my construction? Let's get into something a bit more ambitious. This is here a corridor that I've defined previously, and I am going to record that corridor into some kind of a blueprint. And the difference between a blueprint and a template is that the blueprint is going to record the kind of block that were used to create the plan. So I'm opening this interface and I'm using a blueprint instead of a template, providing a name. Here we go. I now have this new blueprint, which is called corridor section, which I'm going to be able to use in any kind of builder. Just creating a path here. Like so. Laying down a builder, placing the engines, and it's getting dark. Well, not quite time to sleep yet. So now if I place the corridor section in the area there, which is still named template, but that will have to be renamed, you can see that on this left interface something popped up. And this says that to create the next section, I need 40 wooden planks and 2 pieces of glass. So that's very cool. Not only do I have the ability to place specific blocks on an area, but I know at any given time what kind of block are needed to perform the actual construction. And now I think I can go to sleep very quickly and then try out this blueprint. So I'm going to need wood, I've got plenty. I'm going to need glass, and then activate the entire system. Once again, you can see the builder that is laying down the blocks, but now it knows exactly what kind of block to be put down, and it won't put anything else. Okay, while this thing is working, let's have a quick look at our road here. Still some material. So as you can see, what's interesting here is that the path mechanism was able to actually follow exactly the path that I defined. So it's not just blindly putting things straight, it's actually taking curves and orientation that I asked. And because it's a template, if there is actually already blocks where expected, it won't replace them. So that was for the road. And now if we go back to the blueprint, here this pattern has been designed and put just the way I wanted it to, with these two blocks of glass in the middle here, just as it was asked by this blueprint there. Let's carry on. Now I've got one pretty nice blueprint here, which is a corridor section, and I want to keep it, and I want to be able to keep it from game to game, and maybe even able to share it with my friend. Well, this is now possible. I'm going to use a new item which is called a blueprint library, and for those who have tried to guess what that was on Facebook, this is it. A lot of you already actually found it. This is a blueprint library, and I'm going to make a second of this guy here. So writing the same blueprint again, and then what I'll do is to store that blueprint in the library. So I'm going there, and as you can see, there's already one entry in this library which is called Slab Factory. We'll talk about it later on. What I want to do now is to write and store this thing into the library. And here we go. Now corridor section is part of the blueprints that are going to be available from my libraries, and if I create another one somewhere else, here for example, you can see that the blueprint is still there. And it's now possible to create a random blueprint, go to the library and say, please write this blueprint onto that blank blueprint over there. And here I go, I just retrieved the blueprint that I stored earlier, which is going to allow me to store things and share things along the way. So that's pretty cool. Let's see all of this in action. I've got a more advanced BuildCraft setup over there. You may see already that there is a quarry on the right, and a couple of other things. Here we go. So, yep. There is here a 4x4 engine system which is cooled by two pumps, and then there this engine system is powering this big quarry which is getting and extracting all of these things. Now that's just the production part of the system. Over there I've defined a piece of railroad, and as you can see here it's quite complex. I've got slabs, I've got fences, I've got pipes and torches as well, and that's the thing that I want to reproduce to create a long railroad. So let's start. First of all, I'm just going to use the table over here to write the blueprint. Section. Here we go. And I've actually already laid down the system here with my builder, with a chest containing some material. And by the way, that's another new feature of BuildCraft 3.1.0. Builders are able to extract material for nearby chests. So anyway, placing my section here in the template, and as you can see, the kind of material that are required are much more complex. And here comes my robot, and because I've got this very powerful power plant over there, it's actually a lot faster than before. And this just creates the first section, then the second one, etc., etc. Now, as you can see, there is actually quite a lot of slabs that I required by this recipe, and I just don't have enough. However, I've got that quarry over there which is extracting a lot of cobblestone, and it would be nice to be able to create that cobblestone and to transform it onto slabs. Fortunately, in the previous game, I created a factory for slab creation, and I'm just going to be able to retrieve it from the library. Getting my blueprint, going to this library over there, and I want, or actually let's create some of mine, because this is player 790 and I'm currently player 840, and I want to retrieve the blueprint from the slab factory. Here we go, and placing it here. And as you can see, this is pretty elaborated. There is a lot of different material needed to create that factory, but the system is just as powerful as that, and is going to be able to recreate this complex machinery. By the way, the chest here contains all of the material that are needed to create this factory. And you can see here the builder placing base blocks, and then doors and windows and pipes and everything. And we're almost done. Here we go. The factory is now done. I can open it, and as you can see from the inside, it's quite rich. There is this new kind of pipe here, which are structure pipe, which allow red wire to jump from one pipe to the other one. There are engines and stuff, and to create my slabs, I can just from here send some pieces of coal to burn. Nah, got this guy. To burn stone, and I'm going to grab some stone from the chests here and actually start letting things go in that pipe system, which I'm connecting to the slab factory. Probably need pipes. There we go. So now I'm going to have cobblestone coming from the quarry over here, and let's just send some first for the sake of the demonstration. And then I'm going to connect the output of this factory here to this chest, so that slabs that are being produced can be used to create the road. And this lever here is going to start the entire factory. Let's have a look. Now, as you can see here, stone is being extracted from this chest buffer and put into this furnace, which is going to extract items, which are going to place them into this crafting table, which is going to create slab. All of this system, all of this mechanism recorded in a single blueprint. Alright, well, that's it for now, guys. This is BuildCraft 3.1, due in a few weeks. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to talk to you soon. And for now, bye bye.